Hello, hello, my crafty friends. I hope y'all are doing good today. I feel like it's been a long week, but a good week. So that's always nice. Look like I'm pretty straight, right? Let's see what we get done here. I hope that Chrome is not doing an update right now. Huh. I think that Chrome is doing an update. You gotta love it. All right. I have one of you. Di! It's my friend Di. And Pat. Oh my gosh, Di. I'm so excited to see you here. I am. And that makes my heart happy. Yay! How's the walking going? Yeah, it did an update. Technology always waits until the very last minute. Pat, did you get my message about the nutcracker? Unless it shows me live. Okay, I love it that everybody's showing up like we're supposed to. All right, so I want to just kind of go over some things. Kind of a little irritated with myself because I have been on such a creative mode that I have stuff everywhere, right? Typical creative mess. And so I actually want that whiteboard to show up just a little bit more. There we go. Oops, that's too much. I feel like I'm the magician here. I want to be able to draw dimensions on there if I need to. So, Paper Pumpkin peeps. We had a great time yesterday afternoon creating and making the regular cards and then creating a bunch of extra cards. I'm just going to show you some of the extra cards that we made because I think they turned out pretty cool. And I wanted to share with you there are two punches. There is this banner punch, which I've had for ages but is still available. You can run different widths through here. But if you open it up, you can slide whatever width in and kind of see where you're cutting, just so you know that you can do that. I have had bigger pieces and really, really tiny pieces. Not always 100% centered, but I was able to use it to create the dovetails on both of these pennants. So you have a stamp, the Joys. Here's your Cozy Christmas stamp set. And I did a red version, red and green, and then I did a blue version of this card. And this is the snow embossing folder. And these are the gems that go with, are they the evergreen? And I don't have them on their sheet, so I can't tell you where exactly, but these are the snowflake ones, which is why I think it went with the online exclusive. They're so pretty. I don't even care that they're bulky. How's that? You did stairs today. I bet you were petrified about stairs. Here's some of the joy. The joy and this felt or velvet covered pieces are part of the card. I did this. And these are largely inspired by many different creative people. I have these little red and iridescent white drops that came from another kit last year. So I am trying to use up some of my scraps. I'm sure you all have it. This is your Z fold with a front cover on it. And that's I love Z fold cards. Really do like them. This is Joy to the World, and what I did is embossed on the top half of the card. This, you know, their cardstock is really nice and thick. The embossing comes through nicely, and then just 3D foam taped up the Joy and layered on the extra velvet pieces. They're soft. My daughter would tell me I'm having a sensory moment. This is a barn door card, and these again are those really beautiful snowflake embellishments that were released in September. If you open this up, there's your barn door, right? And the Joy is attached on the top. You cannot put the little green pieces off there. Well, hello, Bernice. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday to you. But Merry Christmas. You can write a short note there. And if you put, well, shoot, I really need a piece of paper. There's not 3x. Let's see if this will work. I need another business card. Or, oh, hey, business card. That'll work. I was thinking those cards, that gift card. But you can tuck the gift card into here just enough that it doesn't really show through the front, but when they open it, they can see it peeking out. Or if you want to make it more obvious, you can pull it up and make it more obvious. But I don't think I like unobvious things. So that is this card. And these are called Paper Pumpkin Alternatives. So we're taking the base kit and we are using it as a launch pad to create these other cards, utilizing some of the stuff you have in stock, some of the stuff everything you have in the kit. This is a book binding card. So you take this is a 0.75, I'm pretty sure, or 3/4, yep. This is 3/4 of an inch. And you just score it and glue it down to the back side of the card. Yep. And a 1/2 inch strip here. These are the Christmas tree cut up, and made a wreath with a little star. And these sequins, I tell you, I really wish they were selling them in a bulk pack for us. They're so pretty. This is the real red ribbon. And then I just put in a panel here, which is like 4 inches by 4 1/4 inch. So like I said, we had a lot of fun. I know, isn't it great to see her back? Now this is one where I stamped the front and then I ran it through the embossing folder, and I'll show you the embossing folders that I used. And I did it on the top part of the card as well as the front panel. Make sure you do any of your stamping before you run it through the embossing folder, otherwise the stamping will be uneven. Now this is kind of a fun, you do need a bigger envelope, like a 5x7 envelope, to pull this off, but it is fun to do. So I've opened this up. This is 2 envelopes put together, and I glued down this panel, but you could leave it open and, you know, put like pictures and things like that into this, because you have a big area opening here to be able to put like you can't put a 5x7, but you could put the 3x5 cards in here, and even a 4, no, you couldn't do a 4x6, but 3x5 would fit from school pictures. So I'm going to make some of these up for Sarah Grace's school pictures, and then I had it, so this wrapped around it like a belly band. Normally these will stay in place. Hey Pat. Yeah, I think I still at the address that I posted in the group if you wanted to send her a random act of kindness card. You know, I gotta have a pair of scissors to do this, you guys. I have to have like an anchor thing that I can have hold this down while I'm trying to tie the knot. See, everybody missed you, Di. Okay, so I have some stuff, cards that have come back and some cards that I owe out, mainly the Nutcrackers, and some class prizes. If you are getting a kit, I'm hanging on to that stuff to get a kit because I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting a lot of stuff back. So here you go. You have this pretty, beautiful ribbon and with a Deck the Halls. I really wish this was the same on both sides because the front is so pretty and shimmery. Here's another bookbinding card. This is done with some vellum scraps that I found in my goodies. This is embossed with the new wreath embossing folder. I should just show you that. So this is a 6x6 card that you would make. It's absolutely gorgeous, and what I did is put pieces in around the wreath to be able to emboss it. I do not see, yeah, I had some embossed, the full thing, but I don't see the embossing, so we will not, but that is how I got that design on the edge. Looks really pretty for just a portion of it. And that opens up, and instead of putting an inside panel, I just put a little edge piece in there, pulling in the red and the vellum with the gold on it. The vellum with the gold is part of the green one, green suite that I still think is up available. Here's another Z-fold card that I used the base card, just like that, folded it back on the one edge, and took the front of another one, cut it, and made it so that this was completely covered. Gives a really nice, but you still have the ability to jot a little note in there. I don't know if you could put a business card or a, I mean, yeah, you could even leave this, you know, like a pocket, so you could slide a card into there, tuck it in. Just make sure it goes under enough to be able to not get caught in the fold. This is one of my favorite cards. This is another form of a Z-fold card, but it has the triple Z on it. And here's the tree that I cut out. Hi, Regina. The tree that I cut out the pieces of to make the wreath. On this card are just pieces of that cut up. And this is the velvet tree, and what I did to give it the most lift was put the foam dots underneath just this end and then go down and glue down, and that way it made it the top pop up better, or the edges. And then it opens up like this. So you have like the box in the center. Slightly to the right. Interesting, die. Oh, hey, this moved. And then I have a Joy to the World on the back, and you can write your notes to your person on the back. You guys have to tell me which cards you like the best. Okay, I am showing you these two last. Let me shedding here. Because this is the Christmas tree, this, flipped over to the other side. And then run through the embossing folder, the wreath embossing folder, a traditional wreath 3D embossing folder, and it's from the September-December catalog in the Traditions of Christmas kit. It's completely beautiful and perfect for even scrapbooking. I mean, you can do so much with that. So flip it over. I did have to take one of these pieces from the bottom and cut it so that it would fit this piece right up here. when you look at this, you have 1, 2, 3 pieces, but this 4th piece layer is right in there, and you don't see that when you flip this over. So I cut one up and ended up putting the 4 layers in there. Lots of shimmer. This is on the 2-tone paper and then sanded. And that is this folder, which is Snowflake 3D embossing folder. Perfect. And the other embossing folder that I used was from the November online exclusive. So this is Coming Beautiful pattern. And that's coming out November 3rd. All is calm and all is bright. So those were the cards that I wanted to show you. Get those out of here. Got to talking a little bit too much about them. And wanted to remind everybody this is the perfect time to sign up. You've got lots of great things. Here's the layout. Took me 2 whole cards to do. Cut them up into 2 by 2 inch squares and some of the tops of the cards that were available. Like that's, no wait, the light color, that's the top of a card, and that's from the top, a piece of a card that would be a panel that went on top. And then I saved these pieces down here because you have about 1.5 inches out of 2 inches. Thank you, Maureen, I appreciate it. And those are extra pieces right there. Put 2 of my ornaments, a full joy, and a Christmas tree. Absolutely love this. And this gold foil tape actually is, I'm pretty sure, an old retired close to my heart that I've just still got a little bit left, and I used it to outline this. I did have it all the way up, but this ended up covering that much. It goes together like that. Use an X-Acto knife to get the square. Thank you very much. And I built it from this side up, so about 3 inches in and up, 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 up. That's how I did that to this side. Don't glue anything down until you're sure of the spacing. My spacing is tighter here than it is here because I'd actually glued those down. Yep. So be sure to have that. Here are those beautiful sequins. All right, so a few things I want to draw your attention to. We'll probably go a little bit longer today just because there's so much stuff. Get this all out of here. Try not to get it on the floor. Oh yeah, so the 2 punches that I used were the one for putting the dovetails or the points on them, and then this is a new one that's coming out. That is super cute, or came out, one of the 2, I can't remember. All right, now's the time to join because you have 2 catalogs here of which you can get anything on your wish list, and I think for like $99, it's like almost $200 worth of product. There's a lot of stuff in this, and anything that you have harbored in or earmarked in the annual catalog is, you know, worth getting, or use it for those big ticket items that you would like to have, but they're big tickets. Okay, the last 2 days to put in an order of $75 or more to get the missing piece card. Oops, they're upside down. And fun stuff. There's 6 cards in that. And a sneak peek of the card class that's coming on November. And that is the Easy Easel card. Yeah. Fun cards. And I think, Pat, that I'm going to order some of the rest of the stuff in that I need to be able to run that. New packaging. This is the month that the new packaging goes into play. If you guys have been kind of tracking along things, I had out and okay. So before you were going to get your packaging like this, it was going to be the the CD case. I've been putting my dies on one side and then my stamps on this side. These were the dies, and I would put them into there. That all makes sense, right? Now coming in, that you're going to start seeing this go around. That's the snow or gingerbread man we're going to play with next. And here's what they look like now that I got my first order in. I'm kind of late in the game on ordering things. This is the stamp set. These are the dies. I love that the pictures are in here of what the dies are. I think that's just phenomenal. This isn't any different than it's been before, other than a photopolymer. And you'll want to keep the thin and the thick. Remember, the thin is what goes on top of the texture. The thick, the part that goes on the block, is on the thick part. So here is the changing of the guard, if you will. And then the dies are also in this. I do like these. These are easier to close than the other ones that we still have running around here. That is really not easy to deal with, at least for me. And I'm sure anybody that has any fine motor limitations would also struggle with that piece of it. So these are going to be gone. You have to pull it up and then pull it out and then try and get it back into that. Just doesn't work very well. And I think everybody's going to be happier with just being able to slide that into the slit and call it good. So let's get this open. The dies are continue to be on these sheet. Well, they were stuck down. I put them onto a magnetic sheet in here. So anytime if you buy anything that's used and it's on a magnetic sheet, consider that a bonus, because that I have purchased on my own and added it to a set. I just like it better than that sticky sheet that you're getting things up and down from. Now that we have this, I've been kind of like, okay, could I easily put like the matching kits into this? And this is the test. Yes, you can. So you can even, and they do, I mean, you got to admit, that's a whole lot less room. The key thing is, though, is I'm going to have to come up with a flipping system, because this, you could do it by the side and you had like the little miniature images and the name, but now you can't see that from the side. I'd have no idea what I had where. So I've got to figure out how best to create a flip system. And I do like having this in. I'll be able to price the top with both pieces in there, because there is a 10% discount if you buy it as a set. So be prepared. That's what's coming your way. And you'll still see the CD cases and the other pieces until they run out of those materials. Any questions yet about any of this? Woohoo! Last but least, we get to play with the gingerbread. Now, I've had the gingerbread for a day, two, maybe more, because I wasn't going to get him, and then I got him. How crazy is that? I got to run a white set here. Hold on. I thought I'd already done this, but obviously I had not. Now, the cool thing about this set is that the Gingerbread Man can be cut out and made into a card, or you can cut it in half. And I haven't played with this as much as I want to, because I like have a zillion ideas running around in my head at the same time. So here we go. Who wants some gingerbread pieces to play with? Well, actually, I have mystery cards for you guys today. So here is the card. This piece kind of cut out, and I was like trying to, because there's that edge there, I was trying to figure out how to cut just enough of it out that I could round the arm a little bit. Maybe this was the gingerbread cookie that, you know, is on the edge of the pan. And they just cooked up to the edge of the pan. So that kind of makes them look not so bad. But these fold up to be the cutest little cards, I think. And if you cut a white one, you gave and ordered yours. Yeah. I had to order it when I figured out it could make a card. And if you run the gingerbread through as a card, you can get the piece to put on the inside, which thickens it up a lot. And let's see. So that's one way to do it. And I'm folding this again. Get your bone folder out to make a nice crisp on the side. Bernice, what was I looking for? So this is like super duper cute. Then you have the dies that cut out everything under the sun. And this is where I'm really going to appreciate being able to have the pictures of the dies. Somebody told me that they were scanning, or like they'd print off a picture from the website of the dies so they could put it into the die a box so that they could see. And I think that's a great idea to do. Anything that allows you to be able to see what you got going on. There's your candy canes. Be sure to keep the centers of these candy canes because you can make candy canes both directions. And I just wanted to be able to stamp. Oh, okay, so this just cuts it off. So I've seen some broken, nah, broken's the wrong word. I have seen some where the leg looks like somebody took a bite out of it. You could take that and do that piece of it. So let's look at all these cute little things we get out of here. I'm going to put these dies into here so I don't lose them. And a little saying. There we go. Has anybody gotten the gingerbread before today, or seen it, or did it catch your eye? Because I admit that this was in there and I looked at it and I thought, oh, I just don't know. We do like to make cookies for Christmas, but I just didn't know that I wanted to buy gingerbread. I don't know if I really use it that much. Turns out that that's not the reason you don't buy something. Okay. I'm going to cut myself a card base and get these out of here. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways that people have made this. See, everybody's been worried about your die. Whoops, is this 8.5? Nope. All right. Let me grab a piece of white paper. Somehow, I have no 8.5 by 11 white paper, but I have a ton of paper that is 12 by 12. And you know, I've always cut the 8.5 first so that I have the wider piece here that I can use for panels and stuff. Or longer piece, not wider. Cut this by 11. And I'm going to cut it at 5.5. And that'll give me 2 card bases, and let's see what we can do really quick with some very, very simple design cards. 4.25. I have too many things running around here. And I can't tell what is what. And I have some paper from the bows, and I think that paper is still available because I see people creating with it. Hi Barbara, how are you? I'm going to keep my cutter close at hand. Well, that stinks. I had a... Okay. So that paper, I love, is right here. Nice, fun, bright colors here. And I want to grab a plaid. I think a plaid will be, that's kind of a little busy. Is there a more subtle plaid in here? Because I want to pull some of the green in so it's just not all. I thought there was also, there's like a holly, but I still think this is going to be better with that. Remember, your papers are two-sided. That's cute. And that's cute without being overwhelmingly busy. Too busy. And let's go here to create this. Oh, I should have cut out the, so we could have made just a standalone card. Anybody that joins my team will get a few little extras. And in November, I'm going to have a kit together, and we're going to have some really nice prizes for anybody who buys a kit and comes to kit together. Okay, so here's some of the fun things that I have seen from the images, because there are a boatload of images, not just limited to the Stampin' Up piece. Like, there are a ton of gingerbread options out there. I was actually like, wow, gingerbread is hot. It's kind of like the gnomes. Gnomes are hot. I'm gonna do a red. Now, these papers would be super duper cute to use to cut out scarves and hats and all of those pieces. Let's grab our little I had a shaker card using the Aurora Lights paper that I cannot find. I found the center of it, but I cannot find the rest of it, which is most annoying, because I was going to make a shaker card with you guys today and show you how to use these very nice strips that Stampin' Up provides us for 3D foam tape to make these. Now, I have seen the gingerbread done a few different ways, and I thought this was super cute. I have seen him put on like this, and then you can open it up and have this hold a gift card. And we're going to put him on just because we can. Do not glue down this side, at least at this point, because you don't know what you're going to do with it. This is also going to be a good one to emboss, because the white embossing will make, this is dark, so if you decide, oh, I'm just going to stamp in the dark, I am going to miss. You can do that. And you have a couple of different faces. And I went and grabbed my espresso because I knew I wouldn't have time to emboss tonight. Now tell me he's not cute, guys. Or she. Because you can make it a she. I've seen some people who've taken the hat and done the cuff in white. And spit that onto him. All right. Say he isn't cute. Here's his scarf. You could make some really cute, fast Christmas cards that people, I think, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find people, I think, that wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. But maybe I am wrong on that. I think these would be great kid cards. He has chocolate chips, guys. Like the pancakes you make with chocolate chips. Now, I said to kind of hang on to your different pieces here for your candy cane. And what I mean is that you can cut red and white and get 2 candy canes out of it. So you could take this one, put it onto here. Oh, good. Yep, put some numbers up. I have 3 mystery cards here that are actually bundled up and ready to roll. I don't know what's in them, and you don't know what's in them. And I have 3 numbers. Oh my goodness, I had 3 numbers. Where did they go? Oh, found them. While I'm finishing up this, liquid glue would be my recommendation for doing these overlays, just because you have the ability to have some wiggle room. So here's the candy cane done one color direction and the candy cane done the other. So that's why you want to hang on to the parts. 22, nope. I thought that was an exact match, Pat, but not quite. Okay. See, look, I think they're so cute that way. 16 from Di, okay. 9 from Regina. Anybody else still on with us? And because his hand is going this direction, I don't think it'll work very well, so we're just going to put it that direction. And of course, a little 3D'ing doesn't hurt it, right? How can I lose things so easily, you guys? Die, no comment from the Peanut Butter Gallery there. Jeff would agree with you, though. So the next time we play with this, we're going to do some embossing. So I'll have done some of the embossing ahead of time, just so it's done, and you don't have to. I think there's only 3 of you guys so far. So 3 mystery cards can go out to 3 of you, Di, Regina, and Pat. I'm throwing out a number because my page keeps free. No, that's totally fine for you to throw out a number. That's just being smart. Besides that, I knew it was going to be a little bit longer today because I wanted to remember to remind people this is the last couple days for joining and getting your card kit, and then you can, again, you know, set it up. It's almost like a little mini Z-fold. Decorate this guy up. And if you took I use brown. Hey, Barbara. And you added now, I'm not the best at this, so no laughing. I made myself a little gal, and then I could open this up, totally change what I was doing, and do a gentleman on the inside. You know, kind of opposite. I've already done my candy cane to go into that hand, and I have my red scarf. But I could also do him up in blue. So I just thought, I was like, oh, I am not sure about the gingerbread. But the moment I found out it could be a card, I was all in. And so you just stamp him up the same. Just don't put little eyelashes on him. Put a little bit of adhesive on your hat. Oh, somebody gave Sarah Grace a baseball cap. She hasn't had one in ages. At the campus because she's taking college courses. And she got in the car with her hat on backward, and Jeff was like, where'd that come from? And she's like, I don't know, I see it on TV. I just wanted to try it out. Gotta love her, right? So now I have a boy. And like I said, you could leave him open enough on the inside I'm saying there was so many cute things out here. And you're going to want to put your candy cane in this paw. And you'll do that flat because that's on the inside. Thanks, Di. That is so helpful when you do that. There you go. Little girl on the outside, little boy on the inside. All right, 3 mystery cards headed out. I don't know whose is whose, but they're ready to go. And I will be looking at, before I mail them, I'll be looking at who's getting what kits. I'm going to run a pre-report and get out the kits for October. And then I'm going to make a huge mess and get my kits for November. This is going to be the November kit. Get those out early because, like Pat says, they'd be great Thanksgiving cards. And I think we're going to pre-record the class. Pat, I've had some conversations so that you guys can get this kit and then be able just to create right away. And that way they'd be ready to go out. And whatever, you know, leaf pattern, this is the paper, but you could use whatever stamp sets. Thank you, Di. I love you too. You could use whatever stamps you wanted. And then this is our missing piece class. It will go out in a little bit, like in the next 3 days. And it will be what we do here towards the end. I've already got the date up, but there'll be a link for you to sign up. So hurry up, guys. I will talk to you later. Love you all. Thanks for coming. And I'll see you for sure on Monday. Bye-bye now.